Yo, Asabi guys, coming back at y'all with another one of my favorite commander cards. This time we're going to be looking at yet another commander option in Teysa, Orzhov Scion. She is 3 mana in Orzhov colors for a 2/3 human advisor. She has sacrificed 3 white creatures to remove target creature from the game. And whenever another black creature you control is put into the graveyard from play, you get to put a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying into play. Now, both of those abilities there just make her a very spectacular option as an Orzhov commander in this format because she synergizes with multiple different themes, such as token production, which is the most obvious one. Sacrificing 3 white creatures is a lot easier to do when you can pump out a lot of white creature tokens. She's also good in a decent life gain deck. There are a lot of Blood Artist type effects. If you get a ton of sack triggers off of a creature like this, you could just gain a ton of life, and she works out pretty well in that strategy as well. And she's just a good control-based commander as well because you have exiling creature removal right there on a body. You don't have to pay any mana into it, you just have to have enough creature fodder to really make her work, and tokens is easily the best way to do that. And it's a good thing that with Amonkhet we got the card Anointed Procession because it instantly makes any single token-based strategy using white better. It's a parallel lives in white, basically. It's a fantastic way to ensure that you can get more of those white creatures out there so that you can exile other creatures if you're forced to. You don't want to automatically go to that removal right off the bat with her, but it's a good sort of fallback, sort of a way of leveraging a game in your favor with your opponents. Hey, don't do anything to offend me and I won't exile your favorite creature. So it's also political in that aspect there. But she has a ton of different synergies. We're going to go with the most obvious one here, the most iconic one here for Teysa Orzhov Scion, and that is Darkest Hour. Makes all creatures black, which is fantastic with her second ability, the trigger. Whenever a black creature you control is put into the graveyard from play, you get to put a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying into play. Well, the funny thing is that as soon as it enters the battlefield, hey, it's no longer white, it's black, so if you sacrifice it again, it's going to keep getting you those white tokens that turn black, keep sacrificing, and you pretty much, if you can get an Ashnod's Altar out there, or Phyrexian Altar, basically, with Darkest Hour and Teysa on the field at the same time, you have infinite sack triggers, either infinite mana, something of that variety. You have infinite ETBs as well, so keep that in mind. You could have synergies in other decks if you can do that. But the 2 best sack outlets, I would say, for this type of deck would be Altar of Dementia and Blasting Station. Altar of Dementia is going to make it to where we can mill out all of our opponent's cards, so as soon as they draw during their draw step, they're likely going to kill themselves there. And with Blasting Station, we have a way to ping our opponents and sacrifice creatures at the same time, untapping the Blasting Station over and over again, and we're pinging them to death. This is really the combo here, the main combo, how we're going to go infinite and kill all of our opponents. Super effective, and it's what makes her very powerful too. It wouldn't just be fun if she was just a token variant deck, but the fact that she has these nasty synergies, and a very unique one with Darkest Hour, is what makes her one of my favorite commander cards, and one of my favorite commanders as well. She's very versatile, very unique in that aspect. If you did not know already, we have another Teysa, Envoy of Ghosts from Dragon's Maze. I don't like her as much as a commander option. I think she's probably a better option as one of the 99 than Orzhov Scion, but she is 7 mana compared to just 3 mana. A little bit more flexibility as a commander, being able to constantly bring her out there, recast her. I just prefer her over the other Teysa. And if you didn't already know, according to the lore, she is Teysa Karlov. She is the granddaughter of Karlov of the Ghost Council, who is a commander option printed in Commander 2015. I absolutely love that lore. I love the Ghost Council, the Obsidat, and Teysa is just a very interesting character in MTG lore, and a big reason why I love Ravnica altogether. Original Ravnica block and Return to Ravnica block. I just love the characters. You have so many different leaders in Ravnica, you have these different factions. It was just brilliant, and I liked it. Now, going back to the combos, going back to the synergies here, you also have an infinite combo with Karmic Guide and Revulark. And if you can get another white creature out there as well, then you're likely going to be able to combo off there, get either infinite sack triggers or infinite tokens, depending on the third creature you choose. But yeah, Graveyard Recursion's also pretty solid in a deck like this, where you already have a ton of ways to sacrifice creatures. So naturally, you should be able to constantly bring creatures back, get whatever you need to win the game combo off that way. If you have a Blood Artist or a Falcon Wrath Noble, you can win the game easily that way as well. Now, I said this before, one of my other favorite commander cards, Elspeth Sun's Champion, is perfect in this type of deck. Her plus gets you enough ammunition for Teysa. 3 little 1/1 white soldier creature tokens are going to be sacrificed, exiling another target creature you don't like, which is fantastic. It's perfect. Pair it up with an Anointed Procession and you have 6 tokens, which is even better. But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of different ways that you can win with this type of commander. The last commander that I mentioned was Prosh, Skyrider of Care, and I sort of feel like Teysa's in a very similar category when it comes to the versatile options that you have. You have the ability to interact with creature tokens, you have the ability to interact with sack triggers, things that trigger when creatures leave the battlefield or die. You have the ability to sit back and just play good control, and she has the ability to be a pretty powerful option in Orzhov, and one of the most underrated, if I had to say so myself. She is easily the most underrated commander option. I would say with what you have with her, the synergies and the potential, you know you have a good commander when they just seem to keep coming out with cards that automatically fit into the deck. You don't always have that in Commander. Some commanders are so narrow and specific that only certain cards synergize with it pretty well. With Teysa, if you have good black creatures, good white creatures, they tend to work out pretty well with her. But yeah, just a very powerful commander option, and that's why I love her. So anyway, guys, that was another one of my favorite commander cards. Hope you enjoy this series. I want to keep doing this. I usually end up just doing one a week. Let me know if you want to see a deck tech of Teysa. I would definitely also consider doing one for Prosh if you want to see me do that as well. I will do it. Give it my best shot. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. Void here signing off.